Okay, well, I started a trend because this guy in the R-Pod up here that you're going to see in just a second pulled in, and he took all the rest of the spaces that were in this section in front of me, which I think was inappropriate because I was only in 1.5 spaces. He really should have parked in the RV area, I think. And we're going to follow him up the hill slowly and get on our way. Our next stop is over 2 hours away. Google says 2 hours and 5 minutes. I believe it'll be much more like 2.5 hours or more, probably closer to 3 even, to get him hooked up, because I know I'm going to have to stop. I don't know if you noticed that RV as we're going by here, but the RV parking was very slanted downhill, so I was glad I parked where I did, because otherwise I would have ended up having to turn off my refrigerator, not to mention having a really long walk. And I guess it's starting to get a little busier now, as we've got more people coming downhill. We're going to get the AC on for a little bit. And I think I'm going to scoot up a little bit closer to this guy so we can deal with the traffic together, perhaps. Make sure you're watching these views, because I'm not. I'm just watching the road. And we got another quirky stop today. Kind of quirky. Hopefully, I think we'll get there in plenty of time to go there. It's 11:15. I still have not had breakfast. I am getting a little bit hungry. So we'll see how it goes. Something's vibrating. Wow, I got back up to the top here a whole lot faster than I thought I would. I thought it was much further down. I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't do this the first time. On the other hand, I'm glad I did it this time and had the opportunity. So this was fun. Alright, getting out of here the rest of the way won't be all that much fun. Oh, I'm not out of here yet. There's still a whole bunch of canyon to do once you get past the base station. Forgot about that. And then I got to deal with all of the construction detour, which I think is not in the direction that I want to be going. But so I might end up having to do a little backtracking. You know, I looked at R-Pods long and hard before I bought my Lance. And one of the things that I finally decided was, you know, they put the tires outside, which makes the road width relatively the same as what my Lance travel trailer was, but you lose so much interior space that way. Plus, they only had one model at the time that had a dry bath, and the rest of the layout was not all that awesome as far as I was concerned. So I much preferred my Lance travel trailer. I think they might have re-engineered the R-Pods now so that the wheels are not exposed that way. Ooh, there's a big drop off with no safety net. So I'm just watching this vehicle behind me. I don't know if you can tell, this grade is probably 10 or 11% right here. Oh, and here's this RV that found that pull-off. I wonder if they spent the night there. I mean, they've got their chairs out, they got themselves in nicely. I might have done it if it had been open. Of course, this one's open. Get a pretty good view out over the canyon there, too. Okay, with the hard part's done, we're going to deal with the whole detour part. Oh, actually, it doesn't look like we're going to have to detour, maybe. Yeah, because we're going to be turning left on Addison Road. And we came down Addison Road and turned left on this road to get here, so it's all good. All right, next destination is 140 miles away. So, see you there, or maybe before. Interestingly, there have been several different locations where the signs have said severe storm warnings next whatever miles. I assume that's winter time, but who knows? We're hopping off here exit 245 because it happens to be exactly halfway between where we left Shoshone Falls and where we're going. So that's a convenient place to stop, and I'm hungry. It's about 12:30 now. I can't see down there. There we go. It's about 12:30 now, and I figure by the time I actually get my breakfast made, it'll be pretty close to 1 by the time I'm eating. So we're going to go over here to this truck stop location where I'll be safely off the road. But I'm going to make my own food, not eat theirs. Imagine that. Alright, so we're going to do that, and we're going to get back on the road, and we got 70 more miles to go. Well, it hadn't been terribly busy here when I pulled in, but man, almost the entire time that I was here, it was super busy. And now we got this guy in a U-Haul truck, which you may or may not be able to see, that just pulled up right next to me and made it a little more difficult for me to get out of here. But we can do it. There were a number of people that came in with travel trailers, so that was a thing. They've got animals over there in an enclosure. It looks like a goat and a llama and a tiny burro. And I was going to walk over and go visit them, but changed my mind. And it looks like I'm not the only one who's stopping here for a lunch stop. There's another travel trailer and another van back there behind me on the road. Alright. That actually worked out really, really well. We have just a little over an hour to go to our next destination, by which time I will have digested all the food I just ate. And I'm hopeful I can get back into actual intermittent fasting instead of fake intermittent fasting that I've been doing. Alright, so temperature is up to 76 degrees according to Henry, which is probably reasonably accurate because his front end was not in the direct sun, although I don't know that his engine had enough time to cool down really that that's truly accurate. I think probably more like 74, 73. Okay, 70 miles to go. It is now 1:20 in the afternoon. I made more iced tea, washed the pitcher out, made my breakfast, ate, did the dishes, you know, all the stuff. Really is a wonderful life. I love being able to do this, right? I didn't have to go look for a restaurant. I didn't have to figure anything else out. I could have just stopped on the side of the road. I thought stopping at the gas station would be better, but maybe not. I might have been better off on the side of the road. Anyway, we're gonna get down the road, and we'll see you before too long. Alright, look over there. See all of the dust rising? So, I saw a sign not long after we got back on the freeway that said, dust storm area. So, the sign that we saw earlier that said something about frequent storms, next 20 miles, I think they might have been referring to dust storms where I was thinking before it could be, you know, wintertime snowstorms. We are at almost 5,000 feet in elevation, by the way, even though it doesn't really feel like it to me. Go figure. Do watch for ice for the next 20 miles, though. Not this week. So, when you see dust swirling like that, it also means that you're having gusty winds. And that means I'm going to slow down from 65, just a little bit, tiny bit, to about 62. Because I don't want to be caught unawares. And, you know, y'all may think I'm overly cautious, but there are things that I know, having taught motorcycle safety for so many years, and one of the things that I know is that as we age, our reaction time becomes slower. And in the case of a super big gust of wind that would happen to hit me at the exactly wrong time, like when that truck would be right next to me, if my reaction time is slower and I'm driving faster, it means my chances of a appropriate compensation and correction are significantly reduced. And I've really pretty much decided I'm retired. I don't need to be in a rush. I'll just take it nice and slow. Arrive alive. Oh, there's a big herd of cattle over there on the left. I don't think you got to see him. I didn't notice him until we were almost past him. Anyway, that's enough yammering about that. We are about to say goodbye to Idaho and hello to Utah. It doesn't look all that different yet, does it? Let's wait for the sign. Here's your sign. Welcome to Utah. Life elevated. The biggest thing that's changed is the road surface. I didn't know this about the Welcome to Utah sign, but did you notice the two trains facing each other? That's what we're going to be checking out at the Gold Spike National Monument. And I think it's called Promontory Point, where the Golden Spike was driven, combining the two sections of rail. We've reached our exit from I-84, exit 26. And this one says no services, and I think every exit in the 26 miles that we've been in Utah have said no services. Kind of interesting. Got a brown sign, that's always a good sign. What's the brown sign say? It says, whoa, Golden Spike National Historic Park, exit 26. That was a big gust of wind that just hit me. So I guess we're going to have a headwind now. No services. Good thing I don't need any. But we have another stop to make before we get to Golden Spike. And yeah, I don't plan to explore Golden Spike until tomorrow. Unless I get there way sooner than I expect. So I guess we're in a fairly desolate part of Utah. Since there haven't been any services anywhere. So we're 12 miles from our first destination. Does this say how far it is to Golden Spike? 22 miles. But I think there's going to be some backtracking involved between our first destination and Golden Spike. Tell you what, that landscape vista out there is pretty beautiful. And we've got dueling speed limits again. Google says 25, Garmin says 65, and the roadside sign said 55. Yeah, I guess it's, you know, pick a speed, any speed. Now we can see an awful lot of cars up here in the parking lot, and we're getting pretty close to our turn. Drive friendly. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a huge industrial complex. Sign that says rocket display. Look at that. Look at it. All right, we're going to check this out. Pretty cool. Northrop Grumman. Is it Grumman or Grumman? I guess it's Grumman with two M's. What do you think, Kit? What do you think? What do you think? Are we going to look at the rockets? We're gonna go look at the rockets. We gotta find a place to park. About. Oh, that says handicap. Kit, no yelling. Quit yelling. Quit yelling. Alright, this says handicap, but I'm gonna go over here and park in the dirt. That's what I'm gonna do. Doesn't say no entry or anything. So we're gonna do that. Kit, you can stop yelling now. What? We're at a factory? Yeah, we're at a factory. What are we going to see at a factory, you might want to know? Well, that sign says no parking between signs. I don't see another sign though. Hopefully they won't be too upset with me. And if I see a truck or something come in, I'll come back right away. We are at Northrop Grumman. And we are going to take a look at used rockets. So let's come on over here. Apparently there are quite a few visitors. I don't think these are all visitor spaces, but they do have a bunch of them marked off. And I saw some people over here walking through the rocket field after we got parked. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. So we're going to see what we can find out about the rockets today. So this says Standard Missile 2. And I swear there's some kind of little bug that's out and is biting me. You know, plus the, I don't know, 3 dozen or so bites I got yesterday, which are now today all itching like crazy. 5-inch test motor called the TU-168-2. This motor contains 2 8-pound propellant grains. Single and multiple versions are used to acquire ballistic data on new propellants. The single versions are sometimes used for propellant quality control. Where are you going, Kit? Oh, geocache. Nothing valuable inside. And what, no logbook? So how do you log it? Huh. I'll have to look it up and see if I can log it. Heavy wall test motor. Small ICBM stage 1. 24 feet 9 inches long. Yeah, I swear I keep feeling like things are biting me. It's totally weird. That's a Patriot. TOW 2. Sidewinder. See, we've heard of these things. Hellfire. Oh, I am being bit. Okay, not my imagination. So the golden spike thing might be kind of difficult for me. Sparm, I haven't heard of that one. Here's a star. Well, whatever is biting me, it's like biting me multiple times. The same one. All right. Solid rocket motor segment. Right cheer. Pre-Minuteman test motor. Look at this. All right, what's this one? Oh, Minuteman stage 1. Cool. Booster. Minuteman. All the way up there. There it is. What is with the mosquitoes here?
Too close to the lake, I think.
All right, so here is a Minuteman stage 2. Here, you want to look up the back end of a rocket? I don't think we can see too far in. Here's a 156-inch motor segment. This is an inert Minuteman Stage 1. And this is just, you know, super impressive, right? That's a thing. Space Shuttle reusable solid rocket motor. 149 feet long. Full stack is 184 feet. Space Shuttle reusable solid rocket motors were the largest human-rated solid rocket motor ever flown, and at the time, the only boosters capable of recovery and reuse. Developed for NASA by Theocol in the mid-70s, the RSRM was successfully static tested on July 18, 1977. That's 2 years after I graduated high school. And you know, it's funny because I want to go down this way and take a look at this placard. One of the things I was thinking about the other day is in a week or so, I could be celebrating my 50th high school graduation anniversary. Except that I won't be. Just because. Oh, we might go in and look at their garden too. Or not go in, but go by. Frontiers of transportation. Here you stand on one of the great frontiers of transportation history in North America. In 1841, the route of the first emigrant train to reach California overland climbed the mountain pass to your left, over there, and the Oregon Trail passed just 80 miles to the north. Ahead, just over the Promontory Mountains, two hotly competing railroad companies, the Union Pacific coming west from Nebraska, and the Central Pacific working east from California, joined their rails on May 10, 1869, completing the world's first transcontinental railroad. The United States remains a nation on the move. Today's technological frontier has been lifted skyward by Orbital ATK, which builds and tests rockets here in northern Utah to support America's space and defense program. You are here. And we're heading over to the Big Phil and the Golden Spike National Historic Park. So I'm kind of thinking, please do not climb on display motors. Okay. I'm kind of thinking I might go over and get the brochure from the national park and then go park. Man, I'm getting eaten. Look at the pretty garden they planted and put up a whole bunch of deer fence to try and keep them out. See how that works? There's a Hercules, a lacrosse, a hawk, and a Hermes. See, I've heard of most of these. It's pretty cool. All right, let's head on back to Henry. And wow, I got bit a lot. I bet you I just got like 15 more mosquito bites. I bet you. All right, let's head back to Henry, get on down the road, and these people right here, we'll probably see them at Golden Spike too, because they said that's where they're going next. I guess I shouldn't put a sticker on a rocket. That would be rude, huh? Just kidding.